When dealing with patients with PD, what is the first symptoms you notice?
They usually have a tremor when they're resting. That's the first symptom usually.
Do some patients ever deny that they have Parkinson's disease?
I think that patients often don't come in until their symptoms are bad enough that they have to seek medical care.
What are some of the medical attentions that you do for those with Parkinson's disease?
They can take medications that help increase dopamine to help their symptoms.
What are the earlier and later symptoms of Parkinson's disease?
Earlier, they start with motor symptoms. The tremor, they have slow movements and sometimes balance problems. And later in the disease, they often have psychological problems like depression and psychosis.
Do you think there will ever be patients bad enough to get surgery?
There is a surgical procedure where they implant deep into the brain that can help that. It's usually reserved for very severe cases or patients that are affected when they're very young.
Do you think there will ever be a cure for Parkinson's disease?
They are working on that quite a bit right now to try to figure out if there's a genetic factors that can help, that they can treat early on. So they're working on it, but it's still something that we haven't reached yet.
What are some of the worst symptoms for Parkinson's disease?
The motor symptoms are probably the worst. That would be the tremor and the slow movements and balance, because it really affects how Parkinson's disease patients can get their normal activities done during the day.
Can death ever be a cause of Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease does not cause death, but they usually die from secondary causes, infections, pneumonia, loss of mobility, things like that.
Can Parkinson's disease be a genetic disease?
There is a genetic component, and more so for patients that are affected when they're very young tend to have more of a genetic predisposition to the disease.
At what age does PD develop?
It's most commonly over the age of 60, but it can affect patients as young as 20s into their 20s and 30s.
How many people are affected by Parkinson's disease?
It's not very common, maybe about 1% of patients over the age of 60.
That's it.